I want to talk a little bit about the reality of CX today, because my own personal opinion is not getting better, it's getting worse. Businesses have invested billions in CX, yet customer experience is declining. Um, More and more companies have invested in CX directors and people who are supposedly dedicated to the making improvements to their own particular business con- um, customer experience. Yet, customers that I speak to and um, friends and family even don't talk about positive CX in the same light that they used to perhaps 10 years ago. In actual fact, that they're more inclined to start discussing about CX in a negative way. And that's what I have seen over the past few years specifically. Now, customers are not getting faster resolutions. They seem to be just being bounced between channels. There are some key statistics that focus on this really, really well. So, um, taking a perspective of from the year 2004 up until 2023, first call resolution actually dropped from 78% in 2004 to 73% in 2023. Now, with all of the investments in CX and all of the investments in technology, why is it seeing a 5 point drop? What I've also seen is wait times have doubled. So now, on average, there's 41 plus second wait time versus a 16-second wait time in 2004. Why is because customers don't want to wait online to be answered. It's just not something that they want to do. What I'm also seeing is call durations increasing from 286 seconds in 2010 to 441 seconds in 2023. Now, you can potentially speak of the increase being down to removing more simplistic call types. That's the example everyone jumps to straight away. Perfect example being store opening times. Back a few years ago, people might have put a call into a company to find out what time they were open from until. They don't do that anymore because IBRs have become more sophisticated in time, and people are now able to automate those sorts of calls and those sorts of responses because they were essentially non-value add interactions. But that being said, we can't put all of the blame on removing those more simplistic calls and contacts. Repeat calls is another area of discussion because nobody likes having to call back because their initial problem was not resolved. Yet, up to 40% of customers that have to call contact centers or make contact to companies claim to have to call back to follow up on that action. Another stat, 9.1% of customers abandon calls due to excessive wait times. Now, this is a stark change because that is around 100% higher than previous targets, where targets for abandoned calls used to be set between the limits of 4 and 5% on average. Why has it doubled? Why are customers happy? So let's talk about CX today. I have a controversial opinion. I don't think it's getting better. I think it's getting worse. Businesses have invested billions in CX, yet customer experience is declining. Customers aren't necessarily getting faster or better resolutions, but they are getting bounced around between channels. There are some key stats also to call out here. First call resolution, or FCR, has actually dropped from 78% in 2004 down to 73% in 2023. Now, that might not seem like much of a drop, 5%, but given all of the millions of pounds worth of investment in CX and CX related roles, you would not expect to see a drop at all. You would expect to see an improvement. Average wait times have also doubled, now 41 seconds plus versus 16 seconds in 2004. Why is it doubled? clearly there are some questions still to be answered. Call durations are increasing also, from 286 seconds on average in 2010 to 441 seconds in 2023. This is an important call out. We do need to recognize that certain call types have been eliminated from the equation now due to automated responses being made available to customers to improve the journey, but that can't go towards the overall increase, which is almost 100% increase. 40% of customers now have to call back because their issues weren't resolved. That's a stark stat, and it's one that should really be avoided, because essentially, if people were actually focused more on outcome and owning the customer issues, you wouldn't have to see that degree of customers having to call back. 9.1% of customers abandon calls due to excessive wait times. I remember not so long ago where BPO targets for abandoned calls used to sit between the region of 4 and 5%. So why is it that 9.1% of customers abandon due to excessive wait times? What about that CX investment? What's happening with it? Now, despite all of the AI, automation, and investment, I don't think anyone can honestly say customer experience is better than it was 10 years ago. There's more and more subjective reasons for why we need to improve customer experience. And there's more and more pieces of technology emerging on the market, absolutely guaranteeing and promising improvements to CX. Yet, strangely, when you come back to the data, it doesn't seem to be the case. And customer confidence around businesses owning and actually resolving their issues seems to be falling. This is a debate. Clearly, it's something that's going to be a little bit sensitive to some people, but I think ultimately we need to start recognizing this. There are foundations that need to be fixed first and foremost before we start jumping on the CX technology bandwagon. Of course, technology is going to absolutely change the world in terms of what our expectations and capabilities are all about and what we're able to deliver. But essentially, if we're not getting the basics right and we're not managing customers' expectations properly right from the onset, I don't see CX evolving to the state that we're all basically convincing ourselves that it's going to be.